All right, these are notes 10, part 2. We're learning how to solve compound inequalities. If you remember from our last notes, notes 9, this was a fancy way of writing a conjunction, a compound inequality connected by the word and. Just a quick backwards review. If we had this inequality, like x is greater than 7 and x is less than 15, we talked about how you could take this first inequality and flip it around. Instead of writing x is greater than 7, we can flip the spot of the 7 and the x and then flip the inequality sign. And then this other one can be written like this. Just keep it the same. And then we know the two x's are now in the middle. Instead of writing it twice, 2x 2 times, we can just combine it, put them together. And this says x is less than 7 is less than 15. So it's like this and this. The x is just shared between the two inequalities. This only works with conjunctions, but it is a kind of a shorthand way of writing a conjunction, a compound inequality connected by the word and. So if I see this, I know that this is going to be a conjunction with the word and because it's written in this fancy form. I also know that this is confusing to look at. I'm going to show you two ways to solve these. You can pick which way. The first is to separate the inequalities. And the second way is to keep them together. All right, and then you can pick. This is going to be totally up to you. Do you want, about which way you want to do it. To separate them, we're going to take this and we're going to cover up from the inequality symbol behind. We're going to cover that up. This is one of the inequalities. Just like this problem, it could be x is less than 7 and x is greater than 15, or x is less than 15. We push them together, and if we cover this up, like these two inequalities are the same, and if we cover this half up, then these two are the same. We can do that the same thing here. We can separate these two. So if I have the original inequality, I can separate them out. And I can cover up this part and just copy down this part of the inequality. 10 is less than or equal to 2x plus 4. And then the other one, we cover up the other inequality and everything else. So, and I copy down what's left. 2x plus 4 is less than 20. So I'm looking at, let's see, this part is that equation. And then this part, you see the yellow? Yeah. Is this equation. So I separated the two inequalities. Oh, there you go. Separated the two inequalities. Then I solved them both separately. So I would draw a line through the inequality symbol. Get rid of the constant. So I'm going to take away 4 from both sides. Divide by 2. I'm left with 3 is less than or equal to x. On the other one, I have to solve it. Take away 4. Divide by 2. So now I have my two inequalities, and I have to put them back together. 3 is less than or equal to x, and then for the other one, x is less than or equal to 8. This is the answer. So I separate the two inequalities, I solve them, and then I put them back together to get my final answer. That's the first way to solve a compound conjunction. The second way is just to keep them together, not to separate them, and just solve the two inequalities at the same time. This is a pretty fancy way. I like this way. So instead of having just one line, we're going to draw 2 lines through my inequalities. Because I'm solving 2 equations at the same time. And so whatever I do to this section, I have to do to all 3 sections. When we're doing this, we have to keep our eye on the variable. My goal is to get this x by itself. To get that x by itself, I need to get rid of the 4 and the 2. We always get rid